Honourable members, the table has been advised that PQB 1126 will be replied by Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Yes. And I now therefore call on Honourable Third Member for Bobassin-Petite-Rivière, Mr. Kirin.
B1108, please.
Madam Speaker, the previous MSM government did everything, and I mean everything, to undermine the horse racing industry and to weaken the MTC. All that was done on purpose to favor private shady interests, and it was in this context that COIREC was set up to fulfill their ambitions. During the election campaign, we had vowed to restore public trust in Mauritius' historic horse racing industry, which has been part of the island's culture for the last 200 years. As initiated in our government program 2025-2029, this government has successfully restored public confidence in the horse racing industry, as witnessed from the first racing day held on the 26th of July 2025 at the Champ de Mars, and also at the recent one, the Maiden Cup. Under the previous government, the horse racing industry was being driven towards its demise. That was the purpose of what they tried to do. With regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by COIREC that the board currently comprises the following official members. Acting Chairperson, Mr. Anne Charles, who is the Financial Secretary. Directors, Mr. Bungali, Assistant Solicitor General. Mr. Mohabi, Deputy Chief Executive of the Economic Development Board. Mr. A.K. Sitaram, Director of Tourism, Ministry of Tourism. And Ms. Sharon Yong-Tik-Kao, Assistant Permanent Secretary at Prime Minister's Office. The monthly fees payable to the chairperson and directors are 42,000 rupees and 15,750 rupees, respectively. Regarding Part B of the question, I'm informed that following amendments to Section 29 of the States Land Act in the Finance Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 2022, COIREC was, as from May 2022, entrusted with the control and maintenance of the state land at Champ de Mars. Accordingly, on 1st of July 2025, a lease agreement was signed between the MTC Jockey Club and COIREC for a period of 10 years, that is up to 34. Of course, the MTC then had to oblige because this was the plan. Under this lease agreement, the responsibility for the management, maintenance, and upgrading of racetracks falls under the responsibility of the MTC Jockey Club Limited throughout the lease period, which, as I said, I think ends in 2035. As regards Part C and D of the question, I'm informed that a rental fee of 250,000 rupees per race meeting, excluding VAT, is payable by the MTC Jockey Club to COIREC. Provisions have been made in the lease agreement for a yearly increase of 5% in the fee payable. MTC Jockey Club Limited has the right to commercially exploit the Champ de Mars, including the collection of rentals and any other income derived thereof, subject, of course, to the consent of the lessor. Madam Speaker, in July 2025, amendments were brought inter alia to Section 31 and 32 of the Gambling Regulatory Amendment Act, and provision was made for any statutory body or government-owned company to take control and maintenance of the Champ de Mars. Accordingly, COIREC is being wound up. All its activities and assets and liabilities and obligations are being transferred to a specific entity operating under Landscope Mauritius with clearly defined governance structure. During this transitional period, the board is overseeing ongoing operations, ensuring compliance with all the statutory obligations and approving all matters necessary to facilitate an orderly winding down and closure of the company.
Yes, all right. Honourable Third Member for Vieux Grand Port Respect.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQB 1109, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed that the old Grand Port Civil Status Office was opened in December 1984 and was operational twice weekly. on Tuesdays and Thursdays because of the low frequency of members of the public requiring civil status services. The old Grand Port Civil Status Office was closed in July 2013. Since then, the residents of Grand Sable, Old Grand Port, Bambou, Virieux, and surrounding areas were availing of the civil status services at the Mayberg, Rosebel, Plaine Magnan, and Bel Air Rivière Sèche. The Mayberg Civil Status Office is the closest alternative office, easily accessible to the inhabitants of Grand Port, and is fully operational for 5 days a week. However, Madam Speaker, I'm further informed that the renovation works for the old Grand Port Civil Status Office is being done and will be completed by next month. The recruitment exercise to fill vacancies for 13 civil status officers is ongoing. Thereafter, the old Grand Port Civil Status Office will be reopened, hopefully by March 2026.
Yes, Mr. Ramdax, you're all right? Yes, the Honourable Second Member for Audrey, Mr. François.
Yes, thank you. B 1110.
Madam Speaker, let me first inform the House that the sub-office of the Financial Crimes Commission in Rodrigues has now moved from Camp du Roi to Rue de la Solidarité in Port-Maturin. Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that the sub-office is manned by 2 investigators and 1 woman police officer. In addition, the operations of the sub-office under the supervision of 1 chief investigator from the Financial Crimes Commission based in Mauritius. In relation to Part B of the question, I'm informed that the sub-office is equipped with all the necessary facilities for its operations, and arrangements are also made for officers of the Financial Crimes Commission based in Mauritius to proceed to Rodrigues for interrogation of suspects in high-profile cases as and when required. As regards to Part C of the question, 52 cases have been registered at the sub-office in Rodrigues during the period March 2024 to date. Out of these, 32 cases have been completed and 20 are still under investigation.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Yes. The Honourable Second Member for Grand Bipudrodome.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B 1111.
Madam Speaker, as per the information gathered, Mr. Ravi Yerigadu, barrister at law, provided legal services for the following public institutions and has received fees as stated below. 10.9 million rupees from the SBM Group for a period 2017 to 2024. 10.7 million from the SIC Group for the period 2017 to 2019 to 2024. 2.4 million rupees from the Mobank Group for the period 2017 to 2025. 1.1 million rupees from the Bank of Mauritius in June 2022. 920,000 rupees from ICTA for the period 2022 to 2024. 637,850 rupees from Airports of Mauritius Company Limited in 2022 and 2024. 603,750 rupees from the Mauritius Police Force.
Honourable Minister, please.
During the tenure of the former Commissioner of Police for the period of 2023 to 2024. 393,300 rupees from the Mauritius Duty Free Paradise Company Limited in 2023 and 2024. 320,000 rupees from the S Investment Support Program Limited. 204,960 rupees from the Mauritius Shipping Corporation Limited for the period of 2018 to 2019, and 39,200 rupees from the Mauritius Society of Authors during the period 2019 to 2020. Madam Speaker, Mr. Rigadu, another blue-eyed boy of the previous regime, who enjoyed, Honorable Juval asked me a question about advisors. Look how much money was given at the time, when he enjoyed extreme largesse, as he was providing legal services to not less than 12 government entities from 2017 to 2025. He has, during that period, received fees Madam Speaker, totaling 32.2 million rupees from various institutions. That is the scandal. I wish you had asked the question then. In view of some disturbing facts that have emerged from the circumstances under which the services of Mr. Yerigadu has been enlisted as legal advisor and the quantum of fees paid, an inquiry will be initiated.
Yes, all right. The Honourable Third Member for Bobassin-Petite-Rivière, Mr. Kira.
1112.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with the Value Added Tax Act, small businesses and entrepreneurs whose turnover are between 3 million and 6 million rupees are required to file the first VAT return on or before 31st of January 2026 in respect to the period 1st of October 2025 to 31st of December 2025. A small business entrepreneur submitting the VAT return after the 31st of January 2026 will be liable to pay penalty for non-submission of VAT return and no payment of VAT. Madam Speaker, there is no amnesty provided on tax due by taxpayers. However, small businesses and entrepreneurs will be given 1 month extension of time, that is up to the 28th of February 2026, to submit the return and pay the VAT without being liable to penalty or fees. Following the announcement in June 2025 in the budget speech 2025-2026 to reduce the VAT registration threshold from 6 million to 3 million rupees, MRA has taken a series of measures to assist small businesses and entrepreneurs to properly prepare and file the VAT return. Namely, a communique was issued on the 12th of September 2025 requesting persons required to be registered and who need assistance to phone on the MRA hotline or to use the MRA e-appointment facility. B, dedicated customer service desks for the SMEs requiring assistance have been put in place at the MRA head office. C, simplified VAT registration system have been put in place. D, a guide on simplified VAT registration is published on the MRA website. E, a guide on simplified record keeping has also been prepared by the MRA. And F, the MRA has invited the newly VAT registered persons to attend dedicated education sessions. Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Mauritius Revenue Authority that at 27th of November 2025, a total of 6,518 VAT registration applications have already been received by the MRA compared to the estimated number 6,900 new taxpayers for the financial year.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Kira.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Le Premier ministre peut-il informer la Chambre si le gouvernement pourrait envisager d'accorder une exonération ou tout le moins un moratoire de 6 mois au lieu d'1 mois comme il l'a mentionné, afin de permettre à ces entreprises de s'acquitter de leur premier versement de la TVA dans des conditions soutenables.
It's going to be very difficult to do that, Madam Speaker, for the reasons I gave early on. We have to be sure that we collect the taxes. We have given an extension. That's what we are sticking to.
Okay, Mr. Duval, you wanted?
Yes. Mr. Prime Minister, whether he will consider exempting those persons who offer services in coaching, sports, training, academies, etc. My understanding is that they are subject to payment of VAT whilst they are promoting a healthier living. So could he review at least that aspect to look at promoting healthier lifestyles, exempting those companies and entrepreneurs from payment of VAT?
That's I was about to say. All services, because you know, the minute we make exceptions, you will see other people with also exceptions. We have to ensure and act responsibly that we do not allow the public debt to increase, and we get what we are supposed to get in the finances of the coffers of the government, so that we can address the issue that Moody's is looking at very carefully.
Okay, next question. Mr. Lubin, I think.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. B1113, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Mauritius Ports Authority and the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited that representations have been made in writing on the 20th of August and 10th of September 2025, and also verbally on a few occasions by the Mauritius Export Association and the Mauritius Chamber of Commerce and Industry on behalf of the members regarding delays in the delivery of containers, thus impacting on the business community. Such delays occur mainly after adverse weather conditions, during which container handling operations are suspended for safety and security reasons. The operations of the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited are further affected through the shortage of rubber-tied gantry crane operators and insufficient ship-to-shore cranes. The corporation has presently 5 such cranes which are already operating at full capacity. I wish to inform the House that 3 out of the 8 ship-to-shore cranes, having reached the end of their economic useful lives, were removed from our operations since February 2023, and they were not replaced. These factors slow down vessel performance and affect productivity negatively. Owing to these delays, 10 container vessels carrying a total of 4,396 import containers skipped their course at Portly Harbour for the period June to August 2025, and this has repercussions on the local market. These ships have been diverted to other regional ports, and the containers ultimately reached Port Louis with significant delays ranging from 4 to 8 weeks. To address this issue, the Mauritius Ports Authority had a meeting on the 22nd of August 2025 with the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited, the Mauritius Export Association, the Mauritius Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as the shipping lines, to identify and implement remedial actions. Consequently, the situation has improved, with all diverted containers reaching Port Louis, albeit with some delays, but not such long delays. Madam Speaker, to further improve its services, Cargo Handling Corporation Limited has started the training of 32 employees as rubber-tired gantry operators since last month. In addition, the Government of India is providing, free of cost, a cargo handling equipment training simulator for hands-on training. The Government of India would concurrently depute a technical expert for a period of 2 years for the training of operators. Delivery of the simulator is expected by the end of this year. Madam Speaker, in reply to Parliamentary Question B471 at our sitting of the 13th of May 2025, the House was informed that to enhance efficiency and competitiveness, the Cargo Handling Corporation was proceeding with the implementation of its business plan at the cost of 5.3 billion rupees, with acquisition of the state-of-the-art equipment, implementation of green initiatives, capacity building, and digitalization of operations. This plan is being implemented in 2 phases, and the first phase, of a period of 2 years, comprises the acquisition of the following cargo handling equipment at the cost of 2.77 billion rupees to be financed by the corporation's own funds. 1, an acquisition of 2 superposed Panamax ship-to-shore cranes. 2, acquisition of 5 hybrid rubber-type gantry cranes. And 3, procurement of 15 tractors and trailers and other associated yard equipment. Action is also being taken by the Central Procurement Board for the floating of international tenders. In regards to the second phase, I wish to inform the House that the Government of India has extended a grant for the acquisition of port equipment by the Cargo Handling Corporation to the tune of 3.3 billion rupees, which would include the procurement of 1 superposed Panamax crane, 8 rubber-tied gantry cranes, and other associated yard equipment. In this context, the Ministry of Finance is in the process of signing a memorandum with the Government of India. As I have stated in the House, Madam Speaker, a total revamping of the port and other infrastructure to support maritime economic activities is being envisaged. In this context, following my state visit to India last September, the Indian authorities have agreed in principle on the strategic side for the redevelopment and restructuring of port in Mauritius.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, Dr. Amir?
B114, please.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that from the 1st of January 2022 to the 28th of November 2025, 806 cases of road traffic accidents due to driving under the influence of alcohol or illegal drugs or without holding a valid driving license were reported to the police. Out of those 806 cases, 287 were fatal road accidents, out of which 25 cases concerned driving under the influence of alcohol, 8 cases involved driving under the influence of drugs or intoxicating substances, and 8 cases concerned driving without a driving license. In regards to Part B of the question, I'm informed that 110 vehicles rented as contract cars were involved in road accidents, among which 4 were illegally rented cars. Out of the 110 rented vehicles, 2 were involved in fatal road accidents while driving under the influence of alcohol, and 1 under the influence of drugs or other intoxicating substances. These figures, Madam Speaker, are a stark reminder that reckless and unlawful driving behaviors, be it under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or without a license, continue to claim lives on our roads. Government remains fully committed to reversing that trend through stronger enforcement, enhanced legislation, and smarter technology. In this regard, amendments to the Road Traffic Act is being introduced, in fact, this very evening in the Assembly. The amendments will reinforce deterrence and ensure that our legal framework keeps pace with evolving road safety challenges.
Thank you. Dr. Amir?
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. With regard to the forthcoming legislation for what we call PMQT, may I ask the Honourable Minister whether consideration will be given for those that have resulted in fatalities where there has been drink driving and illegal consumption of drugs, that the very harshest penalties be considered, such as full suspension of their license for life. Thank you.
I think this is already taken care of in the road traffic.
Taken care of, okay.
One more, please.
One more, and then your next question.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I also ask the Honourable Prime Minister whether he will use his good office so that the court system in this country introduce a fast-track system whereby there have been fatalities secondary once again to drug driving or illegal consumption of drugs, so that the chances of being released on bail, which cause so much discomfort to bereaved families, are minimized, and these people are put behind bars at the quickest opportunity that the court can find.
But that
Thank
depends on the court.
Yeah, in fact, yes, but I can say that the Attorney General, in fact, is looking at all these measures. There's some opposition to it, I must say, but we are going to go ahead with that. We need to have a fast-track justice wherever there are problems like this. We can't wait for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years.
Okay, interesting. Dr. Amir, your next question.
B1115, thank you.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that 88 suspects have been arrested under the provisional charges since November 2024 to date. In relation to the information regarding charges leveled against each suspect, the Financial Crimes Commission has advised that by virtue of Section 161 of the Financial Crimes Commission Act, no information relating to any investigation can be divulged. As regards Part B1 of the question, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that 8 such suspects needed medical attention and proceeded to private clinics or to public hospitals. I'm tabling the details of the 8 suspects who needed medical attention. Out of the 8 suspects, Madam Speaker, 1 obtained bail whilst under medical care. As regards Part B3 of the question, 3 suspects spent time both in police custody and in private clinics pending their release on bail.
Thank you. Yes? 2 questions.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. What I'm going to say, the whole House is aware. Keeping in mind that the Honourable Prime Minister himself while he was under vile persecution, he did not at any time attempt to replace prison with luxury confinement, but faced the music and went to Mocha Detention Center. Can I ask the Honorable Prime Minister whether he will consider that a medical unit be made available either in Melrose Clinic or at the FCC, particularly with specialized care in cardiology, because most of them have cardiac issues, to avoid the tactical use of medical conditions to remain in such hospital institutions.
I totally agree with the Honourable Member, and I can tell him, and I can tell the House that this in fact is being considered by the Attorney General, and we're going to come with legislation addressing this issue.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I know I'm taking a lot of time today, but it is my specialty, my expertise.
Don't waste time then.
Will the Honourable Prime Minister use his good office to advise the Ministry of Health to allow specialists or senior specialists in subspecialty care to visit suspected people who have been suspected that have been conveyed by the FCC or Central CID at public hospital, and liaise with them and give them the authority to liaise to provide the best medical attention, so that once again the use of private institutions cannot be used as an attempt to show justice à deux vitesses. Thank you.
Yes, again, I totally agree with the Honourable Member, and we are addressing this issue. We have public hospitals. Why the hell do they have to go to private clinics and stay in comfort? No, this is going to be addressed.
Thank you. I will allow Mr. Jaman last question, and I will give you your supplementary as well.
Thank you, Madam. Question B1116, please.
Madam Speaker, in my reply to B405 on the 6th of May 2025, I informed the House that an amount of 3.55 billion rupees was deposited by government-related entities in Silverbank Limited. This was purposely done to create a misleading enhancement of the bank's balance sheet. The decision to invest so much money in such a dubious bank with no track record was outright incompetence, bordering, I should say, on criminal offense in the exercise of the previous administration duty in safeguarding public funds. So much was invested in Silverbank Limited, despite the then government themselves issuing a circular requesting government-related entities to invest the surplus cash balances into the treasury certificates, which are much safer. They issued the circular, and yet this is what they did with Silverbank. Stealing public money, that's what they were doing. As of date, more than 900 million rupees are still due to these government-related entities. I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius, by virtue of Section 65 of the Banking Act of 2004, appointed Mr. Arvind Singh Gokul as conservator of Silverbank Limited on the 13th of February 2024. And believe it or not, a monthly fee of 3.5 million rupees was payable as conservation fee. Since Mr. Gokul was Director of Advisory Services at Grant Thornton Advisory Services, the monthly fee was payable to the company. As from the 16th of November 2024, the Bank of Mauritius negotiated the fee, and it was revised downward to 2.5 million rupees per month. I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that the current management retained the services of Mr. Gokul, as it would have been costly to replace him. However, the new management decided that even 2.5 million rupees was too high and reduced it to 1.5 million rupees either from the 18th of December 2024. Due to the substantial delay in finalizing the proposed sale of the Silverbank Limited, the new management of the Bank of Mauritius further reduced the fee to 300,000 rupees per month with effect as on the 1st of February 2025. With regard to Part A1 of the question, I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius has, for the period from 13th of February 2024 to March 2025 has paid a sum of 39.7 million rupees to Grant Thornton Advisory Services, who is the employer of Mr. Arvind Singh Gokul. In regards to part A2 of the question, I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius on the 31st of March of this year, Mr. Gokul resigned from Grant Thornton Limited, but the conservation fee of 300,000 rupees per month is now being paid to Vedanta and AA Services, of which the same Mr. Gokul is the sole shareholder and director. An amount of 2.3 million rupees have been paid to Vedanta AA Services from April 2025 to date. With regard to part A3 of the question, I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius that no other firm or individual except Mr. Gokul has served as conservator of Silverbank since the 13th of February 2024. In regards to part B of the question, I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that for the period of February 2024 to 27th of November 2025, only 206.3 million rupees have been recovered out of the total loan portfolio of 8.2 billion rupees of Silverbank Limited. This, Madam Speaker, represents only 2.5% of the total portfolio. This gives us a stark indication as just how toxic the Silverbank loan portfolio is. The toxicity of the loan portfolio was directly exacerbated by the influence of the previous government. I must say to the House that it is a shame that he is still there. But there are reasons that they've given me because of the cost of paying compensation and all those things. But all this will be subject to an inquiry.
Yes, Mr. Jamal? Yes? The time is up. I said I would give him one, but time is already up. Now, the table has been advised that the following PQs have been withdrawn: B1119, B1120, B1121, B1122, B1123, B1125. Thank you. Now we go to questions to ministers. Mr. Kazel?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQB 1128, please.
Madam Speaker, I would like to thank the Honourable Member for this question. The MOPASS application is a single sign-on platform which creates the bridge between the physical world and the virtual world. So it helps the government identify citizens using services which are deployed on the internet, deployed by the government. It's a very critical application, and hence I understand the question. So services that are available today, for which we have to authenticate through MOPASS, include application for jobs with the Public Service Commission, downloading birth certificates, marriage certificates, renewal of motor vehicle licenses, application for certificate of character. So we can count more than 100, Madam Speaker. As regards to part one of the question, the MOPASS application has, as at 1st December 2025, 427,467 users or Mauritians registered on that system. As the House is aware, on 26th of 2025, we actually published the blueprint, and the blueprint takes into consideration the usage of MOPASS and the promotion of that usage. My ministry has therefore embarked on a massive onboarding process to increase the number of MOPASS users. During the period of July to August 2025, 8 awareness sessions were conducted at different malls across the island, mainly during weekends, to educate citizens on MOPASS platform and to help them create their MOPASS accounts. The post office as well is also engaged in that activity. So we are also using the social welfare centers, and we touched around 1,866 citizens with that. And these efforts yielded 12,934 new registrations of citizens on MOPASS platform. So, Madam Speaker, the initiative that have been undertaken by my ministry to reach maximum number of users has been ongoing. And to reach further citizens, a team from my ministry trained around 209 officers at 8 community centers and 25 officers working in the social welfare centers on the creation of MOPASS accounts. Similar activities will now be undertaken with the Citizens Advice Bureaus. And with respect to part B, of the question, Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that as per paragraph 6 of the National Identity Card Regulations 2024, an applicant for a new identity card may opt for the creation of a MOPASS account and the installation of digital certificates on his or her identity card. Since the implementation of the new identity card in February 2024, 146,771 citizens have opted for a MOPASS account while applying for a new identity card. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Yes. All right. Honourable members, the table has been advised that PQB 1133 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity. PQB 1150 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of National Infrastructure. Yeah. Now we proceed with Honourable Third Member for Vieux-Grand-Port, Rosebel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQB 1129, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed that the drain works in the southeast region concern 6 villages, namely Rivière-des-Créoles, Vieux-Grand-Port, Bois-des-Amourettes, Ange-Doncé-Providence, Petit-Sable, Grand-Sable, and Bambou-Verrieux. With a view to mitigating flooding in the region, the NDU has appointed consultant Servan Singh Jadhav and partners, Consulting Engineers Limited, for a thorough study of the whole region. Geotechnical investigations have also been carried out to assess soil stabilization measures along track roads and mountain slopes before proceeding with the construction of major cut-off drains in all the 6 villages. The detailed design report has already been finalized, and the whole project is estimated to cost some 576.15 million rupees, including VAT and contingencies. The consultant has been requested to advise on immediate short-term measures which may be implemented to bring relief to the inhabitants pending implementation of the drain project holistically. Madam Speaker, the Road Development Authority has also implemented 2 projects at Rivière-des-Créoles as follows. First, construction of a reinforced concrete parapet wall along diverted drainage path at Rivière-des-Créoles near underpath at Rivière-des-Créoles. And second, stabilization works designed and built on turnkey basis at Rivière-des-Créoles along South-Eastern Highway A15. Madam Speaker, with regards to the region of Nouvelle-France, I have to inform the House that the NDU has already implemented drain projects in different alignments as follows. Alignment 3, drain works along A9 Road. Second, alignments 3.1 to 3.3, upstream of A9. And alignment 6 from Coville to near community center. Third, construction of retention basin Poncy in the region of Kanpur, Nouvelle-France, and desilting of river Lachaux, 1 kilometer stretch, and other flood mitigating projects undertaken by the RDA include redesign of Nouvelle-France roundabout on motorway M1, drain works along A10 road at Nouvelle-France at the level of Nouvelle-France police station to roundabout on motorway M1, and alignment 6.1, drain works along A10. Madam Speaker, as advised by the LDA, the NDU has also embarked on the construction of retention basins and drainage alignment along the upstream of Sèvres-Mart, Comlon region, and Savant Lake Road. The design was approved by the LDA on 30 September 2025, and action is being initiated for land acquisition and way leaves. Madam Speaker, as immediate measures, both the Road Development Authority and the District Council of Grand Port have been requested to proceed with the cleaning of drains and culverts within their jurisdiction in the villages of Rivière-des-Créoles and Nouvelle-France, as per the maintenance plan approved by the LDA.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Ondas.
Is the Honourable Minister aware of the number of inhabitants of in respect of the Rivière-des-Créoles area, of the number of inhabitants affected by the floods? And is he also aware that certain families have had to leave their houses to seek refuge elsewhere in times of flooding?
Madam Speaker, I'm aware, and that's why we say we are working on short-term, immediate measures and long-term as a holistic measures, and the consultants are working, and I've even given the cost of the holistic project will be 576 million rupees. We know in which financial situation we are. We are trying to get financial clearance so as to do the project holistically.
Yes.
You see, I take note of the cost to the tune of 576 million. May we have an indication from the Honourable Minister as to when the works may be expected to start, and if at all they can be considered in stages, at least to alleviate the sufferings of these people in these areas?
Yes, Minister. Can you give that undertaking?
I think I've said in my answer that the consultant has been requested to advise on immediate short-term measures which may be implemented to bring relief to the inhabitants pending implementation of the drain project holistically. So we wait for the consultant to give us the short-term measures that have to be done.
I think that should be all right. You still want to? No. Ms. Tanu, please.
Thank you, Madam
Second
Speaker.
member for Quartier Militaire. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQB 1130, please.
Madam Speaker, I thank the honourable member for this question. At the outset, however, I wish to clarify that my ministry is not responsible for issuing of evacuation orders for dwellings exposed to landslides, erosion or flooding. Evacuation orders are issued by the National Crisis Committee in accordance with Section 16.2 of the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Act of 2016, directing any person to evacuate their premises or any public place, or directing any person in a particular area to be evacuated within a certain specific time. I am informed that so far one evacuation order was issued at Rivière-des-Créoles, 5 evacuation orders were issued in the regions of Saint-Pierre and Verdun, and 6 evacuation orders were issued in Souillac during the period 2019 to 2024. Furthermore, the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Center has informed that some 86 families are still residing in their dwellings located at areas classified as being at risk of landslides and erosion. Surveys are also ongoing in other areas, such as Crèvecoeur and Saint-Pierre, particularly along the Rivière Profonde stretch. As regards the measures, Madam Speaker, already in place and those planned to safeguard residents living in high-risk zones ahead of 2025-2026 flood season, I'm informed that regular simulation exercises, sensitization campaigns, and awareness initiatives are being carried out jointly with the local authorities. In addition, during the rainy and cyclonic periods, the following actions are inter alia undertaken. 1. Continuous monitoring of vulnerable sites. 2. Regular police patrols. 3. Issuance of alerts to expose families through the National Multi-Hazards Early Alert System. And 4. Pre-positioning and deployment of first responders, including the SMF, the Mauritius Fire and Rescue Services, and the Special Support Unit, and the regular police.
Thank you, Minister. Yes, Ms. Tanu.
Thank you, Minister. Are Japanese experts currently involved in the geotechnical approach to the surveys, please? I know the experts are currently employed at the Ministry of Infrastructure. Thank you.
As I have said at the very outset of my answer, my ministry is not responsible for evacuation orders. I gave the information that I obtained from all other ministries as to what work has been done. Now, as far as specifics are concerned, I would invite the Honourable Member, Madam Speaker, to put a question to the substantive minister responsible for such geotechnical investigations. It would not be within the ambit of my portfolio, and therefore I would not be able to give the answer to the Honourable Member.
Yes, Honourable Member, you will do that, I'm sure. Now I have the Honourable Fourth Member for Port North. Yes, Mr. Duval.
B1131.
Madam Speaker, with due respect, before addressing the question on funding, it is important to this House to recall the circumstances surrounding the land allocated to the Mauritius Tamil Cultural Centre Trust. The land at Reggie Triangle, Mocha, was originally leased to the Mauritius Tamil Cultural Centre Trust in August 2010, together with the Hindi-speaking union and the Urdu-speaking union, under the Prime Ministership of Dr. the Honorable Naveen Chandra Ramgulam. This was done in recognition of the long-standing cultural contribution of these communities and as part of a coherent national vision to support and strengthen our multicultural identity. However, in April 2023, the previous government cancelled that lease. Madam Speaker, it is publicly known that this decision was taken at a time when attempts were being made to divert the land to individuals closely connected to those in power. Such actions understandably generated deep resentment within the Tamil community and raised legitimate concerns about fairness and preferential treatment. Madam Speaker, the retrieval of the land was regarded by the Tamil community as a profound injustice. In August 2024, members of the community, together with the Rannu la Terre movement, organized a peaceful march to defend their legitimate rights. Unfortunately, this peaceful mobilization was met with arbitrary arrest. This caused further distress and raised serious concerns among Mauritians regarding dignity, justice, and the protection of fundamental freedoms. What was equally troubling, Madam Speaker, is that after nearly 10 years of inaction, the previous government suddenly announced, almost on the eve of the 2024 general election, that it would construct buildings for the free organizations whose leases had cancelled. These organizations had been shifted to Kodo. The timing and manner of this announcement strongly suggests that it was motivated more political mileage than by any genuine project supported by planning, funding, or long-term commitment. Madam Speaker, upon returning to office in November 2024, this government moved swiftly and responsibly to correct the injustice created. We honored our commitment to the Tamil community by restoring the land at Reggie Triangle. A new lease agreement was signed on 20th May 2025, restating the Mauritius Tamil Cultural Centre Trust legitimate rights and rectifying the unfairness that had been inflicted. Turning now to the specific question of funding raised by the Honourable Member, I wish to state clearly that l'Alliance du Changement never pledged to provide financial support for the construction of a cultural centre building for the Mauritius Tamil Cultural Centre Trust. Furthermore, this government is not constructing any cultural centre building for any community at this stage. The economic situation inherited by this government has been nothing short of catastrophic. We are therefore required to prioritize essential national obligations such as stabilizing public finances, reinforcing social protection systems, and meeting urgent service delivery needs. In this context, embarking on new capital incentives, cultural infrastructure projects would not be responsible or sustainable at the moment. This is no way diminishes our unwavering commitment to promote and safeguard the culture and heritage of all communities, including the Tamil community. It simply reflects the fiscal reality that this government must manage responsibly. Madam Speaker, this government remains firmly committed to fairness, transparency, and respect for all communities. We will continue to act responsibly and with full regard to fiscal discipline, transparency, and long-term sustainability in the cultural sector, and like our predecessor. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes?
There has been, in fact, promises made during the campaign. Maybe the Minister will not recall. I can tell you the name of members who have gone as far as the radio to say so. Well, I will ask the Minister, the Honourable Minister, whether there has been any representations with his ministry with regards to financial support for the construction which is pending since more than 20 years now there.
I think I have already replied the question. We have not committed ourselves.
Whether
Nothing.
there were representations?
No, not at all.
Right.
Okay.
May I have a second question?
Yes?
Then may I ask whether he is prepared to receive representations from the MTCC with regards to construction, given that the promise has been made and I maintain, and that therefore the subject matter ought to be discussed with them.
Minister said that there was no promise. You are asking him if he will meet representatives. Maybe you can meet representatives, Minister. Yes?
You must give evidence.
But maybe the Minister can meet representatives. Not necessarily for what he says.
Why should we meet if we are not going?
If nobody asked.
Yeah.
But if somebody asks.
If they ask, yes, of course we'll meet them.
On est à
With
Maurice.
pleasure we'll meet them, Madam Speaker.
On est à Maurice, on est bien élevé. Allez. Now I have a few minutes. Second member for my group, Pleine Manière, Mr. Apollon. Celui-là était. Okay. This question has been withdrawn. J'ai beaucoup de mal à suivre. Hein. This question has been withdrawn. On m'envoie des tas de petits papiers. Il va falloir trouver le meilleur système. Hein. Okay. So if the question has been withdrawn, I propose that we break for lunch. Il reste 4 minutes. Now you can come. Maintenant.